The entertainment industry was shaken by a sharp and emotional statement from Justin Bieber that captured global attention. "My friends Jungkook and Taehyung are being treated like this?" This sentence was not merely an expression of concern, but an outburst of anger reflecting the deep unrest of a global star toward the systematic treatment experienced by two BTS members who have long been known to be very close to him. The statement not only changed the flow of public opinion, but also triggered a wave of emotion involving millions of armies around the world, who can no longer hold back their tears. Is it true that Taehyung and Jungkook are experiencing systematic pressure invisible to the public eye? Does Justin Bieber know something that has long been deliberately hidden from the world's attention? Or even further, is there a powerful force that has been shaping the narrative around these two global artists without giving them room to speak their truth? These questions are now the subject of heated debate in various international forums. Justin Bieber is known not only as a professional colleague but also a personal friend of Jungkook and Taehyung, with a relationship built over the past few years. Their interactions have been captured in several public moments and collaborative music projects that were once planned together. However, in an unplanned moment, a video clip showed Justin's disappointed expression when discussing his two friends. "I know what's going on, and it's not fair," he said briefly but with emotional pressure. This remark was followed by Justin refusing to continue the interview, which then went viral across platforms. For most fans, Justin's statement was merely a confirmation of a long-standing suspicion that Jungkook and Taehyung have long been under structural pressure that is both physically and mentally exhausting. Many suspect that excessive promotional activities, neglect of personal well-being, and unresolved internal conflicts have placed them in a vulnerable position. When a public figure as big as Justin finally speaks out, the public can no longer contain their emotions. Tears flowed across countries, with hashtags nearing trillions of views even without a single endorsement from official media. Justin's anger did not stem from ignorance. He has access the general public does not. So when he delivered that emotional statement, the world knew this was not just a spontaneous reaction, but likely the result of prolonged observation. Has Justin been witnessing how his two friends are silenced, controlled, and forced to follow paths they did not choose? And if so, why is he only speaking out now? These questions reveal that the tension behind the idealized image of K-pop idols may be far more complex than the public understands. In this case, particular attention is directed toward the professional relationship of Taehyung and Jungkook with the management that has overseen them. Is the pressure they face simply a normal consequence of global fame, or is there a form of covert exploitation that has crossed ethical lines? Some global pop culture observers say that Justin's involvement could be a turning point in exposing unhealthy dynamics in the Asian entertainment industry. He's not just another pop star. He's a symbol of a Western system that's growing uncomfortable with how his Eastern peers are treated. If it's true that Justin issued an open critique of Jungkook and Taehyung's working conditions, then this is no longer a personal matter. It's a global scandal that will unveil who truly controls the careers of top artists. The public has started to dig deeper into the interaction records among the three. In recent months, Jungkook and Taehyung have been seen together less frequently in official settings, though they still mention each other personally. Justin, in some of his previous posts, had liked fan comments questioning the fate of the two BTS members. This was not a coincidence. Speculation arises that Justin had been signaling all along, but the public only realized it when the bold statement was made directly. In a video analysis uploaded to YouTube by a French fan channel, it appears that the behavioral changes in Jungkook and Taehyung happened gradually. They appeared quieter, often avoided questions about internal activities, and began to be more active individually than as part of the institution managing them. Is this a form of silent protest? Is this a sign that they want to escape certain pressures but have no safe route to do so? Even more disturbing, many believe that Justin's involvement in this issue will make him a target for retaliation. But that's precisely the courage of his statement. When a friend dares to fight the system to defend those he considers family, it is not merely an emotional act. It's a rare moral stance in a world dominated by financial interests. Now, however, the public is at a crossroads between trust and skepticism. Is this truly a long-hidden truth finally revealed, Or is it just a fabricated issue meant to boost the popularity of those involved? Could it be that Justin himself is part of a larger strategy designed to stir upheaval and shift public opinion toward a certain narrative? The sources used in this article come from various platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and other social media that cannot yet be independently verified. Therefore, readers must approach every statement and assumption with caution and reflection. Don't let emotion blind logic. Ask yourself again, are you witnessing the truth being revealed, or merely consuming sensational content meticulously crafted? Armies worldwide are now divided. Some cry, feeling the sincerity of Justin's emotional outburst, while others wonder if this is merely a media strategy to salvage the image of someone or a particular institution. But behind all the debates, one fact remains undeniable. Jungkook and Taehyung are humans who deserve to be treated with fairness, transparency, and respect for their integrity as individuals, not merely as commercial products. If indeed the pressure has crossed the line, then it is time for the public to unite, not just to love them, but to protect them from a system that may have been exploiting them all along. And if all this is merely misinformation or a commercial strategy, then the public deserves to know who created this narrative and for what purpose. Justin Bieber's statement did not just touch hearts. It shook the foundations of the global entertainment industry. And now, all eyes are fixed on one unavoidable question. What is really happening to Jungkook and Taehyung? And who has been silent while they screamed in silence? If a public figure as prominent as Justin Bieber, with international reputation and massive social media reach, chooses to express his anger openly over alleged unfair treatment of Jungkook and Taehyung, then it cannot be seen as merely an emotional reaction. Such a statement carries reputational risk, especially if made without solid basis. Therefore, the following question becomes crucial. Does Justin Bieber truly know something that has never been revealed to the public? Or is he merely responding to a narrative previously shaped by media and fans? We face two extreme and opposing possibilities. On one hand, Justin may be a direct witness to his friends suffering under inhumane systemic pressure. On the other, it cannot be ignored that he might have been caught in a viral dynamic not fully based on objective reality. In this context, public reflection becomes essential. Are we witnessing a truth being uncovered, or are we trapped in a collective illusion shaped by emotion, sympathy, and public expectations of their idols? Furthermore, the public must question the sources of circulating information. Video clips, emotional reactions, social media comments, and narratives spreading via YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter have very specific characteristics. Rapid spread, high emotional appeal, but often low factual validation. When such information forms the foundation for grand conclusions, the risk of misinformation becomes very real. Are we, as digital information consumers, still able to distinguish between verified facts and opinions formed through emotional framing? In the case of Justin Bieber's statement, there is no official chronological release, no full transcript of the conversation, and no direct clarification from those mentioned, Jungkook and Taehyung. As this information spreads widely, the public is given only fragments, which are then interpreted freely by each party. These interpretations, if not guided by critical reasoning, will result in biased, emotional, and unfounded conclusions. So the next question is, who benefits most from the virality of this narrative? Is it Justin Bieber himself? The company managing these artists? Or perhaps media and third parties profiting from the public's emotional involvement? Public suspicion of unfair treatment toward Jungkook and Taehyung did not arise without reason. However, if those suspicions are based solely on expressions of anger and unproven unilateral statements, then we are building opinions on very shaky ground. Social media is not a neutral space. It is filled with algorithms designed to amplify emotionally charged content. In this context, Justin Bieber's anger becomes not just a viral voice, but a catalyst for a global emotional explosion, which may not be based on complete truth. Are we witnessing inter-artist solidarity, or is this another form of emotional marketing strategy cloaked in moral language? As a society increasingly reliant on digital information, we bear a moral responsibility to be skeptical. Not everything viral is true. Not everything that touches the heart is fact. In such dynamics, emotional involvement must always be accompanied by sharp analytical ability. If Justin Bieber truly saw or knew of unfair treatment toward his two friends, why hasn't he shared concrete facts? Why is there only one emotional sentence without data, chronology, or any real form of support? These questions are not meant to blame or belittle anyone's feelings. But without critical questioning, we will remain victims of narratives created by parties with hidden agendas. In this case, does the public truly care about Jungkook and Taehyung's condition, or are they merely following the tide of collective emotion shaped by trending topics and viral content? Global armies are known as a loyal and emotional fanbase. However, loyalty and emotion without critical thinking will only strengthen the system oppressing these artists. If abuse of power truly exists, the best way to fight it is not just through crying and spreading outrage, but by demanding transparency, accountability, and refusing to be trapped in unhealthy media games. Has the public done that? Or have they merely become an amplification tool for issues that may not even be true? This article is not intended to justify or blame anyone. It is a reflective invitation to the public not to get trapped in information flows that may not be true. We live in an age where information can be produced, packaged, and spread very quickly, but not all of it holds truth. In such circumstances, skepticism is not cynicism. It is self-protection from information manipulation that can distort collective perception. Have we protected ourselves from that possibility? Or have we willingly surrendered our awareness to narratives yet to be verified? We emphasize that all information in this article comes from various public media sources that cannot be fully confirmed for accuracy. The information comes from YouTube channels, TikTok clips, social media screenshots, and fan speculation from various countries. Therefore, we invite all readers to treat this article as material for thought, not as a final conclusion. Will you let emotions dictate your stance? Or will you choose to delay judgment until all facts are truly revealed? One thing we should reflect on together is that in such situations, it's often not the artists who become the main victims, but the public itself, whose emotions are exploited, beliefs steered, and ultimately used as tools to reinforce the very system we wish to fight. If we don't want to be victims of information games, then there's no choice but to think independently, analyze logically, and have the courage to say, wait a minute, is this true? A reflective and skeptical attitude is not a betrayal of Jungkook, Taehyung, or Justin Bieber. On the contrary, it is the highest form of respect for them as human beings, not as tools within the global entertainment system. If you truly care, then ask the hard questions. Demand truth. Reject half-baked narratives. And make sure you are not being manipulated by a voice that seems emotional but may be fully engineered. At this point, we leave everything to you, the readers, to determine your own stance. Don't believe just because others do. Don't be moved just because others cry. Believe because you have thought, analyzed, and realized that behind every news story, there is always the possibility that the truth has not yet been fully revealed. If today you feel angry, disappointed, or touched, make sure those feelings come from knowledge, not from an algorithm pushing you to feel something that may not be real. So the question now is, are you sure this event really happened? Or are you watching a grand script designed to stir public emotion for a particular purpose?